Hey there everyone, welcome back to more Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. In this part, we still have the stuff in our inventory from that quest, but also, let's return and speak to Fitted.
I'm only asking for enough to feed me kids.
Rumors.
Did you hear about Braden Lyrian? A vampire hunter named Rainiel Dralis made his way into town, snuck into his house, and killed him.
Interesting. In this episode, we'll be doing the quest, A Brotherhood Betrayed.
Yes, the vampire hunter. As far as I know, he just showed up recently here in Bruma. Not only that, but he already found a vampire among us. Apparently, Braden Lyrian was one of those vile creatures, and Rainiel slew him. Kinda strange, though. I never figured Braden to be a vampire. He seemed to be such an likable fellow.
What a peculiar quest, though.
Blessings of anew upon you.
A guy shows up in town and then just finds a vampire. He's got quite impressive skills. Let's go see what he's made of. No, I'm not going to hit him with my mace, but I really want to hit him with my mace.
Ha!
Alright, let's visit Braden. Oh, the dead guy.
You're going to have to leave. This is a crime scene, and no one other than ourselves, our Rainiel Dralis, will be allowed access.
Where's Rainiel at, though?
I suppose there's no harm in telling you what happened. Word is bound to get around Bruma anyway. Turns out that Braden Lyrian is a vampire. Or was. If it wasn't for Rainiel Dralis, we may never have uncovered the truth. Let me explain. In the last week or so, we've found 2 bodies stashed in shallow graves outside the city walls. The bodies had puncture wounds on their necks. The bodies were those of some beggars who used to wander the streets looking for handouts. Vampire probably thought no one would miss them. Luckily for us, Rainiel arrived in town. He said he was a vampire hunter, so we asked for his help. He tracked the vampire to this house. When he entered the place around noon, Braden was sleeping. He was able to slay him at that point. Luckily, Braden's wife wasn't home. Poor thing. She didn't even know her husband was infected. We did a follow-up investigation, and it's true that no one recollects seeing Braden out in the daylight. He's only been spotted at night. I'm afraid there's not much more to tell you, so you can see we really don't need any help, but thanks for the offer.
Okay, what about Braden, though? Is there anything else you can tell me about this guy?
As far as I know, he was a good man. I never saw this coming. But vampires are masters of deception, so I guess it makes sense.
I mean, I guess. What about Rainiel?
I'm impressed. It only took him a day to track the vampire down. I guess that's why he does it for a living.
Could be.
Feel free to question anyone in town. They shouldn't give you too much trouble.
I
Perhaps
see.
You can help me.
I will.
I can't believe this is happening. Please, please, I need your help. My husband was no vampire. It's ridiculous. No one will listen to me.
Calm down, calm down. I'm helping you out right now. Just by listening to you, see? No one else is.
Forgive me. I loved my husband dearly, and to lose him this way makes no sense. Anything you can do to help would be wonderful. This is all happening so fast.
Let's make it happen faster. You're next. No, I'm not going to do that. Tell me what happened.
I came home only just a few hours ago. I found the door open, and my Braden dead. Standing over him was a Dunmer. I screamed and ran out into the street. Some city watch were nearby and heard me, I suppose, as they arrived quickly. I heard the Dunmer identify himself as Rainiel Dralis. He said he was a vampire hunter, and that Braden was his mark. The guards seemed to know about Rainiel, And after a search of the house, the body of some beggar was found stashed in our basement. The guards sent for Carius, who is an investigator for crimes here in Bruma. In minutes, Rainil convinced Carius that Braden was a vampire.
The evidence looks bad for him.
Well, of course it does. It was obviously planted here. Why would he stash a body in his own house? That's ridiculous. And another thing. The guards are making a big deal out of no one seeing Braden out in the daylight. Well, of course that's the case. He works at night and has to sleep during the day. Why does that make him a vampire? It's all that Rainil character. I don't trust him. The thing that bothers me the most is that I swear I've seen him before. Of course, he says he's never been here. Look, there isn't much more to say. Please, help me clear my husband's name.
Okay, fine. Any rumors, though?
I've heard that Arentius Falvius at the chapel can conjure up creatures.
I want part of that. Alright, Rainil then. Tell me more.
I have no idea where he'd be. Just find him and make him tell you the truth. I swear he's a liar. I know
So, any new revelations in your, investigation?
Braden.
I'm sure Erlene is very upset. She'll be safe, though. Rainil has confirmed with us that she isn't infected. Her accusations that Rainil is lying is not surprising. At this point, she's so upset that she'll say anything to deny what really happened. I suppose if I found out a loved one was something as horrid as a vampire, I'd find any excuse not to believe it either.
You're an idiot. Rainil, though.
I'll warn you about one thing. I understand you wanting to help Erlene by checking up on Rainil. We have it on good authority from officials in a neighboring city that Rainil is what he says he is. So I'm not sure what you're trying to prove. I am only allowing you to do this investigation, and I use that term very loosely, because Erlene is so distraught. Keep up the...
Good work, I suppose. I don't like you. Hey.
Greetings to you. I'm Jantus Brolus. I'm the illusion trainer.
You look cartoony.
Knowledge is the key to...
Shush. Bruma.
Easterus and I used to be adventurers, but we've retired here. Bruma is far from civilization, but we're ready for a little peace and quiet.
Bruma is civilized. Never mind.
Be seeing you.
So, the next best place to go to ask around town would be the tavern, of course.
May the wind be on your back.
Who are you?
I'm Regner. You want anything? Talk to Edla. She's in charge.
Okay, tell me about Bruma.
I hate it here. Came here with Edla. All these snooty southerners. And damn guards won't let anyone have any fun.
Jesus. Jagesta. Botch. And down here, Olaf's Tap and Tack. Hey, Hanmund.
I'm Hunmund. I'm a prospector. Alga's my woman, Nord style. None of that chapel wedding nonsense.
Bruma.
Plenty of mineral deposits in the Gerald Mountains. I'm out for weeks at a time by myself, but I don't mind it. Yes, the vampire hunter. As far as I know, he just showed up. Apparently, he seemed to... we'll see.
Oh.
Goodness, what can I say? You win. That's... You're pathetic.
I like this.
I'm embarrassed. I can't argue with that. What a dumb... Blah, blah, blah. What a... You win. That's... What a... You're pathetic. I see.
Still nothing.
Alga sure can tell a good story. I'm not normally a big fan of bards' tales, but she's got some good ones.
Okay.
How are you? What can I do for you today?
Hey, Olaf. Tell me about Brayden.
I know I may be out of line by saying this, but I think the city guards may be wrong. It's hard to imagine Brayden was a vampire. I could have sworn I saw him outside in the daylight before. Unless he just got that disease very recently, I'd say they were mistaken. When I heard Raynil killed him, I didn't know what to think. But after your visit here, I'm beginning to wonder.
Ah, that's nice. You're beginning to wonder. Tell me about Raynil.
I usually don't give out that kind of information, especially to people I don't know.
Okay, that doesn't help me. What do you want?
Yes? That'll get you
Take my
something.
money. Tell me about Raynil.
Raynil's staying in the last room down the hall upstairs. Here's the key. I always liked Brayden and Arlene. They were a nice couple. I hope you get to the bottom of this, because I don't believe he was a vampire either.
What a small world. I don't think he is. Open the door with Raynil's room key. Anything here? Nope. I've entered Raynil's room. I should carefully search the place for anything suspicious. Like a hidden book. Galaborn's journal. I've discovered a small journal in Raynil's room at the inn. It seems he was part of a group of adventurers who uncovered an artifact of some sort from Aelid ruins. They all agreed to stash the artifact in a cave until more research could be done about it. Each of them took a key to the chest it was secured in. The two other members of the group were Brayden and someone named Galaborn. I need to find out more about Galaborn to confirm my suspicions about Raynil. Olaf may be able to help. The 8th day has passed, and there's still no sign of the artifact. We've covered most of the remainder of the outer guard tower and secured the crumbling gatehouse ruins, but not one clue has arisen to where it may have been buried. It's quiet out here, as if the ruins were paying respects to the Aelid inhabitants that disappeared here long ago. We haven't encountered anything hostile, but if we do, I think we're ready. The Brotherhood's been in worse scrapes before. Brayden paid good money for the information as to our treasure's whereabouts, and I hope it doesn't turn out to be another fiasco. This morning, our camp was set upon by some bandits who were protecting what they claimed was their territory. Considering that we were outnumbered 3-1, we did very well. Only Raynil suffered a small wound, but that was easily healed by a potion that Brayden had thoughtfully brought with him on our expedition. After getting rid of the bandits' corpses, we set out to tackle the largest part of the ruin, the remains of the Great Keep. 2 of the walls of the once mighty structure were collapsed, scattering the telltale whitish rock of the so typical Aelid architecture in this part of Tamriel. This made our assault on the ruin difficult, as many of the larger chunks of the wall were far too heavy for us to move. Brayden suggested that we search the center of the building's foundation for any underground entrances, which was typical for this type of keep. His guess paid off, and after several hours of back-breaking work, we managed to clear an opening just large enough for us to squeeze through and enter an ancient stairwell leading down into the ground. We decided to wait until the morning's light to begin our descent into the depths of the ruin. After a restless sleep, all of us were quite excited at the prospect of what might lie ahead. Eagerly, we dipped our torches in the fresh container of pitch, lit them, and entered the inky blackness of the stairwell. The stale air was choked with dust and fine grit, a sign that no one had entered this portion of the ruins in a very long time. We became excited, as that meant no other tomb robbers had gotten here before us. The stairwell eventually leveled out into a corridor of sorts that snaked its way to the north. As we carefully walked along, I scanned the floor and walls very carefully for any type of triggers, tripwires, or pressure plates. Such was my specialty. The Aelid were well known for their cunning traps protecting their tombs, and I wasn't taking any chances. Brayden, the scholar of the Brotherhood, was getting more and more excited as we traversed the passages. He was translating the wall carvings and was becoming certain that we had finally found the true location of our prize. After walking for several more minutes, we were overjoyed to see what we were hoping to see. The hallway ended at a metal door with the carving of a spider upon it. Now came the test of Braedon's information. The door supposedly had a puzzle lock. By pulling the spider legs in a certain combination, it would unlatch. The wrong combination would spell our deaths, perhaps triggering the collapse of the hallway or some other equally deadly trap. With shaky hands, I pulled the legs one by one in the order I had memorized. The sixth one, then the first one, the second, and then the eighth, and finally the first one again. I closed my eyes as there were a few loud clicks, and then the door popped open. We all breathed a sigh of relief. Pushing the door, I looked in at a huge room with a pedestal in the center. Sitting on the pedestal, illuminated by a shaft of sunlight from a tiny hole in the ceiling, was our prize. The floor was covered in a huge mosaic of a stylized spider, all 8 of its legs coming to a point and ending up at the door entrance. This was the last of the traps the Aelid left behind to protect their treasure. Again, if it hadn't been for Braden's skill at acquiring information, we may never had known how to solve this last line of defense. I instructed Braden and Raynell to remain at the entrance, and to tie a rope around my waist in case of a sudden pitfall. Carefully, I began to walk the darkened tiles that formed the third leg of the spider. Sweat beaded on my forehead as the pathway made by the tiny pieces of ceramic was very narrow at the start, and one slip could mean instant death, but death never arrived. The information had been correct, and I was able to make it to the pedestal and secure the artifact. Quickly as possible, we made our way back and out into the daylight. Once again, the Brotherhood was triumphant, and it was time to return home. At the tavern that night, we decided to make a pact. We would stash the artifact in a small cave not far from Bruma until we researched it further. An item of its magnitude could be very dangerous if mishandled, and we certainly didn't want to sell it without understanding its true value. Braden agreed to contract a local cooper to construct a chest with 3 locks. Each of us would hold a key to one of the locks, so none of us would have access to the artifact without the others being present. For the rest of the evening, we drank merrily and sang many a song of adventures past and adventures to come.
May the wind be
Sounds-
on your back.
Think they were close.
Sirach is a good healer. I take it he's a red guard.
Alright, let's
Well,
talk to
ladies,
Olaf.
What can I do for you today?
Well, first of all, you can make sure your neck fuses correctly. Tell me about Raynell now.
And nothing else I can tell you about him. He comes and goes and doesn't talk to people much.
Interesting. Tell me about Gelliborn.
Gelliborn? That's odd that you should mention that name. Raynell told me that he was the last vampire he hunted. Yeah, that's right. Somewhere in Skingrad, I believe. He said he tracked Gelborn down and killed him. That's apparently why the guards trust him so readily. They had gotten word from Skingrad's City Watch about Raynell and his so-called accomplishment.
Interesting.
Just look for me if you need it.
So where do I have to go for this? My guess would be Skingrad, but it's pointing me back towards the house on the hill. Alright.
Yes.
I think we're pretty close to discovering what the secret of this is.
So, any new revelations in your investigation?
Yes, and I hate you. Gelliborn.
How do you know about that? Oh, too many people don't know how to keep quiet about official matters. Very well. The Skingrad City Watch informed us that Gelliborn was killed by Raynell not too long ago. Geliborn was a vampire as well, obviously.
No, he wasn't.
What do you mean you disagree? That's a bold statement. What proof do you have that Geliborn was not a vampire?
Well, you see, I have Geliborn's journal.
I don't know what to say. It all makes perfect sense now. Why else would Raynal have removed this journal from the crime scene in Skingrad? I heard no mention of a key either. It must have been removed by Raynal from Braden's body before we arrived. To think that 2 innocent men were killed, and that I'm responsible for one of their deaths, I'm speechless. I will rouse the guard and begin a search for him in the city. Meet me at Olev's Tap and Tack in 1 hour.
Oh, that was fast.
Hello.
Hey, Airlane.
Do you have any more questions? I'm afraid I know little more.
Hey, do you know anything about Geliborn?
Yes, I remember Braden mentioning that name once. He was part of the Brotherhood he had created with Raynal. I know I sound desperate.
As I thought. Let's head to the chapel. It's almost time for them to close down. We might as well see if we can get some conjuration spells out of this.
A pleasure to speak with you.
Training?
If you want to train further, you'll have to seek out someone else. There's nothing I can teach you. I've heard of a Daedra worshipper named Olin Saren. Very powerful and might be helpful, if you can find him. I heard he had to flee Morrowind, and is now hiding out in the forest of Cyrodiil. If there are other cultists out there, he's probably with them.
Oh, we know where he is.
Find Olin Saren. Look for him at a Daedric shrine. That's where he probably is. Farewell.
Oh yeah, health restored. Yeah, but there's nothing else we can get from that guy, and his services are closed for the day. Let's head over here to the bar. Okay.
May the wind be on your back. Go ahead, please.
Whoa, what?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't buy or sell things.
Okay, Bruma?
Bruma is a perfect town for a Nord man of leisure. Bracing mountain air, good food and drink, and lively Nord fellowship.
Nice.
Goodbye.
I'm Olga. I'm a bard and a speechcraft trainer. Hanmund is my live-in partner. No offense, but I don't want to hear about any Mara Mother Mild and Chapel family business. Hanmund and I live together in the old Nord way. Good enough for my fa and ma, and good enough for me.
Hey, I'm not gonna comment. Tell me what you think about Bruma.
Bruma's a funny place. Half Cyrodiil and half Skyrim. I'm Old Nord all the way. I keep the old songs and stories alive.
Interesting, okay.
Goodbye.
You're a sneaky-looking sort. It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Bye. Whatever I can. Anything else I can help with, you just let me know.
Yeah, brush your teeth. Tell me about Bruma.
The Countess is Heartland Nibanian, and so are most guildsmen and chapelmen, but most others are as Nordish as you'll find.
Nice. Rumors?
I've heard Edla Darkheart was once an assassin.
I don't want to know.
Just look for me if you need anything else.
Shush. And we have to wait 1 hour. Here he comes.
Just before I arrived here, I received a report from one of our scouts watching the roads. Raynal was spotted heading west out of Bruma. The scout tried to follow, but lost him in the mountains. The only cave to the west that comes close to the one described in Geliborn's journal is Boreal Stone Cave. That must be where he's headed. You must get there before he acquires whatever artifact is being kept there and makes his escape. I'm keeping the city guard in Bruma, as Raynal doesn't know we're after him. If he sees a guard, he may panic and run. You're my only hope at the moment. Please, you have my authorization to do everything you can to bring him to justice. If he won't surrender, I think you know what to do. Hurry. I fear you have a day at the most to stop him.
Tell me about Braden.
If all you say is true, Raynal will answer for Braden's death.
Galaborn.
Raynal will pay for both crimes. Galaborn was likely another innocent he slain. I'll make sure Skingrad City Watch hears of this.
Frightening. Raynal.
I can't wait to get my hands on Raynal. He'll become very familiar with Bruma's dungeons, or the end of my blade if he doesn't come peacefully.
Why don't you come with me, please? Rumors.
Olav's Tap and Tack is a good, inexpensive place for travelers.
That was very hesitant.
Please hurry. Raynal may make a break for the open road at any moment.
Now this quest is unique. Well, I can't really say unique. There's, I think, one more with this kind of thing in it, but if you wait 24 hours...
Take this. It's from a friend.
No! I guess we're not doing that in town. Also, she was frighteningly terrible. Good lord. She looked like that one image of that one kid that looked like a frog. Oh. The Boreal Stone Cave is one I've already discovered. However, let's save and wait, as I tried to do in town. See, if you save and wait... A full day has passed and I haven't made it to the Boreal Stone Cave to stop Raynal. I fear I may be too late. I should hasten there as soon as I can to confirm my theory. You enter the cave? Progress onwards. You'll find that you're correct. I've arrived at Boreal Stone Cave and have found it to be completely empty. I fear Raynal has made off with the artifact and he has disappeared. I should inform Carius. Yeah. This is a way to fail a quest. This is a way to make a person fail a quest. Actually make it timed in a game in which nothing is timed.
My pleasure, really.
Alright. Let's go find Carius and break the bad news. He should be in the castle around this time, and the arrow's telling me to go there, so I'll believe it. Oh, neat. So you just push the dead guard out of the way and stand there. You don't even bury him. Ah, Bruma. It's full of savages, apparently. I have unfortunate news, Carius.
I see from your expression that you have grave news.
Braden.
You must avenge his unjust death.
Ew. Raynal.
I provided Raynal's description to all of the Bruma soldiers, and even dispatched his description to guards in other cities. However, I'm afraid he slipped through our fingers. If he's as crafty as he's been up to now, he's probably halfway to Vardenfell.
Tell me about Braden.
It's a shame that there will be no retribution for Braden and Galaborn's deaths, but such is the way of things. I know you did your best.
Best. Galaborn.
In your absence, I dispatched a runner to Skingrad to let them know they needed to clear Galaborn's name for the record books. Like Braden, I think he deserves to have his name clear of wrongdoing.
Raynal.
I'm sorry. There's been no sighting of him yet. Don't know if there ever will be.
At this point, Raynal has genuinely made off to Morrowind. You will not be seeing him in the game anytime soon, and he's definitely not a character in Morrowind. Yeah. Morrowind takes place, I believe, a few years before this game does. Let's visit Ariel.
Greetings to you.
Ariel? Oh my god, I forgot how to say her name already. And just see if she has anything to say about this disappointing outcome.
Oh! Ha!
A pleasure to speak with you.
Raynal.
Oh, I see. I know you meant well. And I suppose there was no need to put your life on the line for a stranger. I'm sorry, but I have much to do right now. Please excuse me. Oh, and you should inform Carius of this if you haven't already. Well met.
Yep, and she just is depressed for the rest of the game. However... Oh jeez, it's dark in this. Let's reload the save. And we're gonna go in there, and we're gonna kill him. Kill him with our hands. And our feet. And maybe a weapon. I've arrived at Boreal Stone Cave. I wasn't kidding. I'm gonna punch him to death. Hey there.
Congratulations. I had a feeling you would catch on sooner or later. Leaving that journal behind was a stupid mistake on my part. I saw you enter Olav's Tap and Tack before I could get there, and I knew that I had to sneak out of Bruma somehow. It was only a matter of time before you or Carius figured it out. No matter. After I've killed you, I won't need my vampire hunter ruse any longer.
You're not going to surrender then?
Certainly not. I'm surprised Carius didn't send the entire city watch up here. But then I would have seen that coming, I suppose. I expected to lay low for a while and then be on my way. So again, I underestimated you. This leaves me with little choice. Either I fight you now and have a chance at freedom, or I surrender and rot in a city dungeon. I prefer the chance for freedom.
This is your last chance.
Yes, I suppose it is. Well then, we've talked enough. Only one of us will walk out of here alive this day. Good luck.
Yeah, Raynal is not a vampire. Not in any, form, any way at all. He's actually a Dunmer... I can't move. He's a Dunmer Nightblade. Oh boy. He's a Dunmer Nightblade and traitor. Have located Raynal in the Boreal Stone Cave. He refused to surrender, choosing instead to attack me. I was forced to kill him to defend myself. I can now recover the artifact mentioned in Celeborn's journal from the chest. He has all 3 keys on him. And only 9 gold. He has an entire set of glass armor, though. That is valuable, and it doesn't weigh a lot. Let's take that with us. The waterlogged chest. Opening the waterlogged chest with all 3 keys, I discovered the artifact to be an amulet. It seems fairly unremarkable, and I am unsure of its function. I think I should bring it back to Erlene Larian to see what she wants me to do with it. What was he doing over here, though? Is there even anything in this direction? Another chest with a strong potion of healing. And another chest with flame touch and 73 gold. This chest is randomized, but I don't believe the one down here is. At the end of the corridor. Well, we've done everything we can. Now it's just up to the rest of the town of Bruma to be able to move on. Alright, teleporting to Castle Bruma. He's still there? That guard is still there and dead. I might have to console resurrect him for the game to start making sense again. Or maybe that would make the game not make sense. Oh well.
What news do you bring?
Good news? Raynal is dead.
I knew I'd recognize Raynal. I think when I first met Braden many years ago, he introduced me to him. They were part of some sort of brotherhood. They would roam Cyrodiil in search of legendary treasures and the like. The only reason he stopped doing that is because we got married and he wanted to settle down. I'm afraid, thanks to Raynal, that time is lost.
Oh, that's sad. But this amulet, though.
Long ago, I made a promise to Braden. I promised to never reveal to anyone what I'm about to reveal to you now. However, because you've avenged his unjust death, I feel that Braden would understand why I'm breaking that pact. Braden told me about this amulet when they first brought it home from whatever distant land it came from. He never really trusted anyone else in the group, and before he secured the treasure in that cave, he had a special enchantment placed upon it. The magic masks the true identity of the item. All it takes is a simple command word, and the amulet would be restored to its true state.
Did the word die with Braden?
No. He always feared this day would come. He left me knowledge of that word in the event that he died, and I came into possession of the keys. If the other members of Braden's group were still alive, and I on my deathbed, only then would I pass the knowledge on to them. If you'd give me that amulet, I would like to show you what you've recovered.
Certainly take it. You can keep it if you want.
Thank you. I will now speak the word.
Or not.
Brotherhood. Here is the amulet back. It's as beautiful as it was the day I remember seeing it long ago. I want you to keep it, as I have no use for this anymore. I'm certain that's what I want, and I'm certain that's what Braden would want. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope that the amulet helps keep you safe on whatever roads you may travel.
You sure you don't want it for your broken neck? Raynal Dralis.
I'm glad he's dead. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but I think you understand.
I do understand.
Justice has been
Let's
done.
see what Carius has to say. He'll be in the castle, just as before.
You're a sneaky-looking sort.
Edla, Darkheart. Used to be an assassin. It's not very frightening. I have a group of assassins that want me to join them right now. I haven't gotten back with them in a while.
Fine greetings to you.
Ah, still dead. Yeah, just standing next to him, as always. Nice to see him doing his job. Mysticism Magic. I didn't finish reading that at all. At least the loading screens aren't as long as they are in Rage 2. I mean, not Rage 2, Rage 1.
Welcome back, milord.
Milord.
Look at the muscles on you. It's wonderful to see you again.
Carius, where are you? Where'd he go?
Welcome back, milord.
Let's check in with the regular guards.
Yes.
Oh,
A
whoa.
pleasure to see you.
May the wind
There's
be on
Bird.
your back.
There's Garrett.
Something to report?
Interesting. However, Carius seems to have vanished for me. I guess if he's still around in the next episode, we'll hear from him.
Fine greetings to you.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like my stuff, like, comment.
Always a
Here he
pleasure.
is, never mind.
What is it, sir?
Braden.
Although we can't go back and undo what's been done, I feel justice has been served and Braden's soul may rest with ease.
Gilliborn.
In your absence, I dispatched a runner to Skingrad to, like Braden,
Alright, same dialogue. And Raynal.
You did what had to be done. There should be no regrets or doubts in your mind about it. Raynal was an evil Dunmer, and he deserved that fate.
And that's all the dialogue you get.
It's my pleasure.
Yep.
Good day.
And the dialogue is cleared from everyone else's trees.
I understand that Bumf Gragash trains other Fighter Guild members on the proper use of heavy armors.
You have a terrible face. But that's nice to know. Anyways, if you guys like my stuff, like, comment, subscribe. Check my Patreon, Coffee, and Twitter in the description if you want to support my channel. And thank you all. Have a wonderful day. In the next episode, we're going to be finishing off Anvil quests.